All right, so we are going to unbox and review the Warcry Hunter and Hunted set. Now, I was super duper excited for this set, and I'm not gonna lie, it's because of the hunters, the wild core hunters. Now, originally, as you can see here, this is the terrain and everything. I only was really interested in the wild core hunters, but I've come to find out the terrain here is really cool. It looks like sort of like a almost like a sarlacc pit, and the gorgers are just crazy looking. I really think they're kind of neat looking too, so I definitely don't regret purchasing this particular box. I like the new format. Well, this is kind of the old format, sort of, because this is how the previous Warcry used to come in small boxes like this when you were buying terrain and whatnot. But including a short campaign, and two war bands, definitely a little bit new, but they're kind of going back to this old format, which I think is better for Warcry, honestly. So as you can see, you get all the sprues, you get the cards, you get the book and the instructions, and there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, so starting off, you can see the Gorger Maw Pack. All right, these guys are really cool looking, and I actually can't wait to get some paint on them. The 5-man team is going to be something I don't have any Warcry war bands that are less than, like, I don't know, like 8 units or something like that. Most of them have a lot more, but the Wild Core Hunters, definitely my style. I like them a lot, and I think they would look really cool, not only for Warcry, but for possibly Mordheim as well. Now, there's only 5 configurations or 5 units for the Gorgers, but the Wild Core have a lot of different options. And as you can see here, you get just 5 units, 5 options. You get no customization besides changing out weapons and whatnot. But the Wild Core Hunters have all kinds of options, and I actually really, really think they look cool. The arbalest guy is neat. The leader is cool because he's got the dog on his base, and I actually can't wait to give these guys a shot. So, as you can see here, you get all of the cards. All the dogs have the same stats, and you get your deployments, the battle plans and whatnot. And then for the second deck, it comes with the terrain layouts, which I still have to figure out which sets this uses, because I'm pretty sure part of it is definitely the Scales of Talaxis. As you can see, you got the Maw Pit there on those two, but I believe it uses at least the primary Warcry set as well. So you get your twists, as you can see, and this is kind of neat. I like the twists in Warcry, and you get your victory conditions. So that's what you get for the cards. Now for the instructions, as you can see, I like the fact that in the Warcry stuff they include the base sizes, so you can compare which base is what and not get it messed up. You have 3 options for the leader, and each of the options, they really don't change a whole lot except for the axe. So potentially you really don't even need to worry about having multiple copies of the leader or even magnetizing. And you have your Trailblazer here. Honestly, I went with the Saber configuration because I think it looks really cool. And then you have these guys, which can either be crossbows or spears. There's a lot of range in this box, a whole lot of range. And I'm not sure how Warcry warbands that are mostly range function. All of the other units have other options as well. You can either do axes or crossbows or spears. The arbalest only has one option. The dogs only have one option, but all of them look really cool. The Gorgers are pretty much straightforward. There's only one way to build them, with the exception of the occasional piece, like changing out a weapon or whatnot. Other than that, their stats actually don't change. So you can choose however which way you want to build them. I'm probably going to go with the weapons because I think their makeshift weapons look really cool. Now for the maw pit, as you can see here, I really like the maw pit a lot. I think it's a really cool terrain piece, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go over it and show you what it looks like here at the end of the video, and give you a couple of pointers here, because it's kind of really close to some of the older terrain sets. Now the book, of course, has all the background and the lore. Gives you how to use the book. It gives you a set of campaign missions and whatnot. The Gorger Maw Pack, they're actually cursed ogres, whatever they are, the big guys, right? And they don't have all that flab because they have been cursed by the gulping god, I guess is what it's called for the ogres. They're constantly ravenously hungry. And because of that, they pierce their skin with bones and things like that to kind of curb the hunger. And the wild core hunters are rangers, so they're a Cities of Sigmar like unit, but they are pretty much, I mean, they're the equivalent of the huntsmen, the woodsmen, the rangers, the survivalists, and whatnot. So you get your examples of how they look. Right, you get all of the individual rules for each of the war bands, along with any special rules you might need for running the campaign, and it gives you examples of the miniatures, the layouts and whatnot. You get all your stats for all your units, and as you can see here, these are the 5 stat cards for the Gorgers, and there really isn't much variance here, and that's fine. It's just one of those teams, like you get what you got, and that's all you get. The wild core hunters have a lot more options, and honestly, I in the end I ended up just mixing it up a little bit. I took the Trailblazer with the saber. I took 2 spearmen for the 2 sub leaders there, and the Arbalester, of course, the Trailhounds, and I ended up taking axes and a crossbow with the other guys. I just kind of like split it up a little bit, and I built the leader that has the axe because I like how he has more dice with the axe. So what you're giving up on these guys for the range, you're giving up a couple of dice to get more dice in melee. Now all these guys are squishy, so pretty much 1 or 2 hits from the ogres is gonna knock them down. So you do want to utilize all of that ranged combat that they have. So as you can see here, as I'm pointing out, it's got all of the different options for each of the different the units in the warband. It's got your differences between your melee combat and your the ranged guys. I really like the way that band kind of plays out. So you also get the maw pit rules, and this is an example of what the maw pit looks when it's painted. It looks really neat. I'm probably going to gore mine up a little bit more with some blood and whatnot. And then it goes on to the quests. So you get a bunch of different quests, and you also get as well a campaign. So you get it gives you like a campaign arc and all the campaign tree and all the rules that you need, along with all the twists and whatnot. And of course you get all the tables for naming your warband. So that's what's in the box. Honestly, I think it's well worth the money. The 2 warbands are really cool. The terrain piece is really cool. Now for the terrain piece, as you can see here with me trying to put this thing together, it is a lot like the old Citadel terrain kits. There are going to be some gaps, and you can fill those in with a little bit of green stuff. This one here, that centerpiece is too big, so I ended up having to snip it in order to get the 2 halves together. So once I did a little bit of glue and plastic cement, I put some rubber bands around everything. It's also got some very pronounced mold lines. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will definitely see you on the next video.